Stocks are mildly higher. As I speak to you right now, the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are all up just about 0.25%, and the Russell is up 0.43%. The situation between Israel and Iran remains highly volatile, with both sides vowing to continue their campaigns. Crude oil has slowed its rise, but it's still pushing the recent highs, sitting up 0.7%, close to $74 a barrel on WTI. Japanese trade exports were better than expected. UK CPI was slightly stronger than expected, and Eurozone CPI was exactly as expected and slightly lower than the last print. Weekly jobless claims in the U.S. slightly lower than expected, but last week was revised higher, and continuing claims were worse than expected. U.S. housing starts were fewer than expected, as were the building permits. Gold is slightly higher, silver is slightly lower, and copper is slightly higher, with natural gas up again. The dollar is lower, and yields in the U.S. are only slightly lower. Today, the FOMC is likely to hold rates steady at the 2 o'clock Eastern Time announcement. Still, markets will focus on the statement, the Summary of Economic Projections, the SEP, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell's press conference, where questions on persistent tariffs, stalled trade deals, and rising geopolitical tensions, particularly in the Middle East, are expected to be asked. Tomorrow, the U.S. markets are closed, but we do have a Bank of England rate decision, also a People's Bank of China rate decision. The BOE is expected to hold rates at 4.25%, with only a slim chance of a rate cut, but possibly announcing rate cuts further this year. Looking ahead at earnings after today's close, with a market cap of only $462 million, we get Smith & Wesson Brands before tomorrow's open. No critical earnings to look at. Tonight, Aussie employment data. Tomorrow, Bank of England rate decision, as I mentioned. And then that evening, we get Japanese CPI, as well as the People's Bank of China rate decision. It is expected to keep rates unchanged, with no strong push for further cuts, but possibly announcing more stimulus in the near future.